If there's one thing I've learned from dealing with HOA Karen, it's that her favorite word is control. She wanted to control the mailboxes, the lawns, the fences, even the color of my barn once, and I don't even live under her HOA. But this time she went for something bigger, the lake. Now, I've got a little slice of paradise out here, 20 acres of wooded hills sloping right down to Silver Pine Lake. My family's owned this property for generations. What most folks don't realize is that the lake itself exists because of an old dam my granddad built back in the 1940s. A dam that I still own, maintain, and hold the water rights to. The HOA side of the lake sits downstream. My cabin and dock? Upstream. And I've always been fine letting people fish or kayak so long as they respected the land. But respect isn't a word in Karen's vocabulary. It started with a chain. One morning, I came down to launch my boat and found a shiny new metal gate bolted across the road that leads to my dock. A big sign hung on it, HOA members only, no trespassing. Unauthorized access subject to fine. And right next to it, a smug, laminated photo of Karen, smiling like she just declared herself queen of the lake. I just stood there, jaw tight, staring at a lock hanging on my own gate. So I called her. Karen, you mind explaining why you locked me out of my own lake? Oh, that, she said cheerfully. The HOA voted to regulate lake access. Too many non-members using it. I'm the landowner, Karen. Well, she sniffed. The community decided the HOA should manage the waterway. It's for safety and consistency. I laughed. Safety and consistency? Karen, I own the dam that feeds this lake. Without my permission, your waterway is a puddle. She snorted. Oh, please. The dam doesn't matter. The lake belongs to the community. That was the last straw. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just smiled, hung up, and started making phone calls. First to my lawyer, then to the county water board, then to my maintenance crew. By the next morning, every legal form, every permit, and every photograph proving my ownership of the dam and water rights was filed, signed, and certified. Karen's lake claim was about to meet cold, hard paperwork. That evening, I drove out to the dam. It's an old concrete beauty, still solid after 80 years. I walked to the control valve and turned it just enough to start reducing the outflow. Not dangerous, not harmful, just a little adjustment to lower the lake level by about a foot per day. By day 3, the HOA dock was sitting in mud. Karen was furious. She called me, voice shrill enough to crack glass. You're destroying the lake, she screamed. Just performing routine maintenance, I said calmly, completely within my rights. The dam's old, needs pressure relief. The HOA demands you stop. Oh, the HOA? I said. The same HOA that blocked my access road and claimed authority over my property? That HOA. There was silence on the line. Then, you'll hear from our attorney. A week later, the HOA's attorney, a guy who looked like he'd printed his law degree off Google, showed up with a cease and desist letter. I handed him my own folder, property deeds, county permits, and a certified water rights statement. He flipped through it, face paling more with every page. This all checks out, he mumbled. Karen screamed from behind him. He can't own the lake. Actually, he said quietly, he owns the dam, which means he controls the lake level. So technically, yes, he can. I smiled sweetly, glad we're all on the same page. Within days, the HOA was in chaos. Boats stranded, fish flopping in the shallow end. The HOA beach club had turned into a muddy ditch. Karen finally came storming up my driveway, covered in lake muck and desperation. You can't keep doing this, she yelled. Sure I can, I said. Until the HOA removes that illegal gate and apologizes for trespassing. She glared, trembling. You're a menace, I shrugged. Or maybe I'm just the guy who owns the faucet. The next morning, the gate was gone. So was the sign. Karen even came by, face red, voice trembling, and mumbled something that sounded halfway between an apology and a curse. Consider this a lesson, I told her gently. Never build walls on land you don't own. And never pick a fight with the man who controls the water. A week later, I restored the dam's normal outflow. The lake filled back up, clear and beautiful. The fish came back, the docks floated again, and peace returned to Silverpine. Karen, however, didn't. She resigned from the HOA and sold her house 2 months later. Rumor says she moved inland, somewhere far from any lakes, rivers, or ranchers. Now, on quiet evenings, I sit on my dock, cast a line into the calm water, and smile. The lake sparkles, the breeze is soft, and Duke snores beside me. Sometimes I imagine Karen peeking over a puddle somewhere, wishing she'd never touched that chain. Because out here, you don't mess with a man's land, and you definitely don't mess with his lake.